Red,
I'm Stunna Steve.
and this is our weekly Smackdown review. The date is Friday, May the 16th, and we just saw quite the show, honestly.
It's a very good show.
We're going to tell you guys what we liked, what we didn't like, and give our rating at the end of the video out of 10. So I will let you start us off, Stunna Steve. Talk about the first segment of Solo Sokoa coming out with some people.
Okay, I don't know if you want to start. If you're asking me to start this off for any specific reason, they come out. Solo Sokoa, Jacob Fatu, and JC. I'll just leave it at that. Uh,
Are you
JC
talking
is
about JC Mateo?
that may or may not be his name. I do not agree with it whatsoever. I think Jeff Cobb was fine. What was the, it was like Kabu or something like that. Like his real name, so his real name is Jeffrey Cobb. So I'm assuming they had to do like some like sort of change his name because of copyright issues because they want to own every name that they have. Jeffrey Kabu or Jeff Kabu sounds way better than JC Mateo. What is that? Like that, like I'm already gonna start off ranting and rambling because of this whole live. That's the other thing is every time we saw this JC fella, they were shoving it down our throats that his name was JC Mateo, JC this, JC that.
Yeah.
Every time that
I
I
mean,
think of
I
JC,
thought
I think of
Jesus
Jesus
Christ
Christ.
was
Yeah.
on SmackDown.
Every time I think
I
of that,
thought
that's what I
Jesus was
think of.
back
It's
from
ridiculous.
SmackDown.
I don't like it,
Um,
but other than that, the promo itself was good. Fatu and Solo got a little heated. Um, almost started spatting for a bit, but LA Knight interrupted him, attacked JC, and we got an impromptu LA Knight JC match.
yeah, I gotta agree with you. You know, the match itself was good.
Yeah.
The segment was good. The name is horrible. I thought Vince McMahon was back.
Yeah.
I mean, JC Mateo. What kind of fucking name is
I
that?
mean,
What
they're
kind of name is that?
you know they have focus groups for these names. Like, did not
They
one
got
single
to.
person in that room say, "Hold on a second, we're naming him JC"? You don't think people are going to think Jesus Christ when they hear that name?
Yeah. Like Michael Hayes, Bruce Pritchard, none of these people were like, Hunter, this might not be a good idea.
Yeah, I would have. Hire me.
Yeah.
Hire both of us. It'll be
Well,
great.
yeah, we don't got to touch on that too much.
Please, let's
Obviously, we
change the
know.
subject, please.
Yeah, we know how we feel about that, So, next up, we had Chelsea Green is putting some tariffs out. She's been robbed and things like that.
Crooked Chelsea, back at it again.
Yeah, it's rough. We saw Alexa Bliss come out to the ring after that. We had a little match between her, Meechin, and Chelsea Green. Great match, actually.
For the
Rightfully so.
qualifying match.
Yeah, qualifying match for Money in the Bank. Rightfully so. Alexa Bliss walked away with the win.
And the crowd loved
Super
it.
happy about that. Do I wish that Chelsea would have also been in this match and, whatever, but it's okay. I think that the feud between her and Zelina isn't really over yet in my eyes. I think you're still do a little more with that. And Alexa finally returning definitely deserves to be.
Well, looks like you're gonna start
Stop.
calling her Bliss from now on. There's no Alexa here, so I can say Alexa all I want.
We're keeping that in. Sorry, guys.
God
This is
darn
the
it.
problems of having a smart home assistant in your office when you watch Friday Night SmackDown. There's a certain wrestler that's got the first name. You guys know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, great match. Anything you want to add about that match?
Yeah, I do have to repeat your sentiment in saying I do wish Chelsea Green was part of the Money in the Bank match itself because last year she did such a great job. I honestly wanted her to win last year. I wanted her to win this year, just because I think that she, whatever position, whatever storyline you put her in, she will succeed, and that's what's she's a five-tool player in my eyes, and that's what I don't think enough people
Yeah.
realize about Chelsea Green. If you wanted to, you could stick her in a ring with Penta, and it would be a five-star classic. You'd be begging for more. Or you could go
Yeah.
ahead and have her be running around putting tariffs on people, having a funeral for a previous championship, and it'll still be just as good. That's why I'm a little bit upset that she's not in it. But I'm a giant Alexa Bliss fan. We are both heavy Alexa Bliss fans. You know, Ohio represent, and we're so glad that she had a well received reaction to winning and both coming out in North Carolina. Shout out to North Carolina, by the way. Great crowd throughout the entire
Yeah.
show.
Hot crowd.
They will definitely be going back to there relatively soon. But yeah, I was happy that Bliss won. Can't really say much about Michin. I think she was just there to take the pin, to be honest. Um,
Yeah. It was a good match though. It was a fire match.
yeah,
It was can't really have too much complaining or anything about that. We saw another banger after that with Fraxium and
this was
DIY.
a really, really good
Uh,
match.
that was a great match. Fraxium still on their undefeated streak on SmackDown. We found out later in the night that this earned them a title opportunity against the Street Profits, and that's going to happen actually next week on SmackDown.
Let's go.
So
Stacked card next week. It's looking like.
yeah, yeah, so awesome match. I mean, hands down, couldn't have been better. Really,
Yeah.
got the title opportunity. Looking forward to seeing that next week. Anything you'd like to add on that?
There's not much to say other than it was a great match. The crowd was really into it. But a lot of this is awesome chance. It's always great to hear if you're a wrestler.
Hmm.
I thoroughly enjoyed the watch. A lot of big spots, a lot of spots that I had to sit there and go, "Whoa, I've never seen that." So
Yeah,
really like to see it. Glad to see more tag team. It seems like they're going at a better steady rate for the tag teams. You know, adding in Fraxium.
for
You
sure.
know, I think it's got a really good potential to have a great division in SmackDown as long as they kind of keep it. I know the draft's probably around the corner, rumored wise, and I don't want to
Yeah.
see I don't want to see what we saw this past year. SmackDown was overpopulated, and Raw had like literally three tag teams. I feel like.
Yeah, so I mean, we need some more. We still don't have enough, I think,
Yeah.
and we really gotta get it going. But yeah, it was great. After that, we saw our Truth sit down with Wade Barrett. That was straight comedy.
Yeah.
We did find out that a match, Saturday Night Main Event, can assume it's going to be the main event.
I
It could
don't
be
think
an opener though,
I don't think it'll be
because
the main event because it's not for the title.
yeah, it doesn't seem like it's going to be for the WWE Championship. Our Truth versus John Cena is going to be interesting though. It's going to be funny. I'm looking forward to it. 13 years ago, they had a match at Capital Punishment, and here we are having a match Saturday Night's Main Event.
Yep.
So it's gonna be pretty tight. It's gonna be
Yep.
pretty tight.
It'll be a thorough enjoy. It'll probably open the show because I would imagine Jay and Logan close the show. It'll be it's building up to be a decent Saturday night main event. I'm not gonna lie. We got Cena's gonna be there. We got a steel cage match that was announced later in the day with Priest and Drew, which we'll get a little bit more into that later. And we had Jay versus Logan. I feel like there's
Yeah,
probably more than I'm forgetting, but off the top of my head, that's a really good start to a card.
definitely, definitely. Well, we got right after that. We got Damian Priest and
Speaking
Drew
of,
McIntyre
there we go.
announced for it in a steel cage. So that's gonna cook. He had a nice little video package. Damian Priest did,
And Drew came
and
out later to talk about it as well.
yeah. So overall, pretty hyped for that. Gotta love a good steel cage match. You
Yeah,
know,
I'm not gonna be
Saturday
mad
night's
about
main
a steel
event is
cage.
shaping up to be a pretty fun event.
Oh
Really.
yeah,
Me and Stun and Steve, we're going to be live on all platforms, so make sure you guys check us out. I think it's a week from tomorrow, I believe.
it is. You're
Yeah, a
right.
week from tomorrow. So check us out. I believe it starts at 7. Could start at 8. I'm not 100% sure, but definitely check the page on Instagram and stuff. We'll put out all of our stream information on there. We had a pretty fire match. Well, before that, we had a promo from Carmelo Hayes, which was great.
Yeah, it was a little quick. It
And
was a little
then
quickie.
yeah, then the match between Aleister Black and Carmelo Hayes was a banger.
Yeah, I expected that to be a really quick match, because of how they've been building Aleister Black, but they let Carmelo cook. Honestly, good that they did that because he's still very young, and you don't want an Austin Theory situation where you job him out, the next thing you know he's jobbing out a year later. So I'm glad that they
Yeah,
had Carmelo shine. They had him technically lose via DQ with the Miz interfering, but mellow end of the night with a nothing but net finisher, and Aleister Black was the one laying down on the mat at the end of the match. So who's the real winner?
Yeah, definitely good match. I'm not going to say too much about it. I liked it. I like where the feud's going. I don't know where it's going, but I like that they're putting on good matches, and I think we'll have some kind of payoff here soon, and then Aleister Black can move on.
Julian, we're talking about Saturday Night Main Event, not Raw, by the way.
Yeah. Currently, yes. After that, we saw a little backstage segment: Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Charlotte was being a bitch, to
Yeah,
say the
just
least.
a
I
little
mean,
bit.
treating Alexa like shit. Alexa, Charlotte pretty much said she's going to go in and secure her Money in the Bank opportunity. So maybe she, be in a qualifier next week. Maybe she's going to get in the match. I don't know.
This could be
Um,
something, or this could be nothing in my eyes. With her, I mentioned this during the live stream earlier. With her doing this, like approaching like when ask me a month ago, like, hey, would you have seen Alexa Bliss going up to Charlotte Flair and asking to be friends? I'd have been like, no. Why would we
yeah,
do that? That makes no sense to me. I feel like this has to go to something bigger, and I'm hoping that is the Wyatts targeting Charlotte Flair, because we haven't had a women target yet, and I mean I wouldn't mind it, and we'd see the Wyatts, so I can't
for
complain
sure.
there. I don't think it'll happen, but I gotta hope it'll happen because I don't really know where else they're gonna go with this Bliss Flair storyline exactly. I don't really want that just to be a random feud.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Honestly, the more important thing from this segment was who walked out of his office, which was Julia.
Yeah, big time.
So Julia and Roxanne Perez seemingly got called up to the main roster together on Raw as a tag team. We thought something was going on with
Just a few
this.
weeks ago.
Then they break up on Raw after the show and they broke up on a social media clip
Yeah,
essentially.
pretty
And
much
now
media
Julia is
exclusive.
officially on the SmackDown roster. And this comes as a surprise because, like we said before, like the draft is rumored to come up.
Yeah,
You would think you would save something like this for like a
draft.
number one pick for
Yeah.
the draft, but like, see, they do the draft differently now to where it's like they go out and pick people, and they could pick people that are already on their show. I
Yeah,
kind of miss the old format, really,
yeah.
to
Stealing
where
guys,
everything
just
seemed random on
yeah.
us.
What's up,
But
Gavin?
it is what it is. What's going on? Thanks for tuning in to our live SmackDown reactions that we're doing here every Friday night. I already talked about the Drew promo, which happened after that. Following that, we had a triple threat Money in the Bank qualifier between Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, and I believe and Ray Phoenix.
Yep, and that match was a really good match. We honestly couldn't decide a winner halfway through the match because of everyone had their own reason to win, and that's what we like the most about these
Yeah,
qualifying matches. It's hard to pick a winner.
it was a good match. When it was all said and done, JC actually helped secure the win for Solo Sikoa. I think we actually mixed this up. So after
Yeah,
that was the match with.
that's when the Knight and Cobb match happened, or JC.
Yeah, say I'm not sure who this Cobb fellow is. You keep mentioning. This is like El
El
Grande
Grande,
Americano
yeah.
Chad Gable situation, a Pan Pam dilemma.
Dilemma.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely good match. Solo is heading to Money in the Bank. Anything you want to add on that?
Not really. I mean, Solo Sokoa, was definitely an option in my eyes. I mean, you definitely want a brawler in those types of matches, whether it's a 6'7" brawler or a 7 foot brawler. You need someone big that can throw some meat around to really get some big spots going. I mean, I guarantee you, Solo. I mean,
Yeah,
he's not no Bronson Reed, but I guarantee you he's gonna be put through a table or two, maybe throwing some ladders on top of him, to keep him down. But other than that, you know, big spots, great match.
big
Solo
spot for
wins.
sure. It was a good match. After that, we saw Santos Escobar backstage with Angel Garza. Uh, I only reason I'm bringing it really wasn't nothing. We saw a little confrontation between Santos and Berto last week,
Yeah,
but apparently Santos has some big news, a big opportunity that he wants
it'll
to
probably
tell
just
the
be him
entire
in a
family, kind of
qualifying
thing.
match.
Yeah, it's probably something stupid,
Yeah,
but I guess we'll probably find out next week or something what that is. Um, we finally saw a promo for a returning, I guess you could say returning, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah. Announced the qualifying
They
match for
announced,
next week.
yeah, LA Knight, Aleister Black, and Shinsuke in this qualifying match. That's going to be a banger. Love to see Shinsuke back.
Yeah.
Haven't seen him since the SmackDown before Mania in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle
Yeah,
Royal.
that's right. I was gonna say his U.S. loss, but that was the
Yeah,
before
they
that.
just threw him in that battle. Honestly, they threw him in there for no reason.
Yeah, he was just a body.
Yeah, it's just a body. But anything you want to add on that stuff?
It was definitely a good vignette. Just to be really quick, I do like. I'm an anime fan. Right here is a Black Bulls flag. Shout out Black Clover. He's not really much of into anime, so it doesn't really connect as much for him. But these Japanese style promos, it's kind of like, oh, I'm watching anime, so I don't really mind them at all. Just got to read the subtitles. Blah blah blah. So I didn't hate it. It announced a really good match for next week. I'm gonna be looking forward to next week now.
Hmm.
That's all I really say.
Yeah, definitely gonna be looking forward to it. After that, we saw a little backstage segment between Tiffany Stratton and Jade. Jade announced that she isn't a qualifier. We don't know the details yet.
Yeah.
We saw Naomi lurking in the background. Tiffany and Jade had some words, and then we went to the main event of Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax, which was actually quite the match.
It was a banger. It was a barn burner.
It really was. Like, I didn't think it would be that long. It turned out to be a decently timed match. There was some
Mm-hmm.
good spots. There was some rough spots, and at the end, things got bloody.
Yeah. Let's
So
just say there was some color involved.
yeah, so I'll let you take this one. For your thoughts on the main event.
It was a very good match. I didn't expect it to go as long as it did, but I'm glad it did. Naomi and Jade had their little spat. I do like that we're kind of extending that because I felt like, yes, it was a slow burn with how they revealed Jade, who her attacker was and all
Yeah,
that stuff. But the actual feud between her and Naomi, I felt could go a little longer, and I'm glad they're still doing that. And then the match itself, I mean, Tiffany Stratton put on a show, Nia Jax put on a show, which surprised when Nia Jax returned, everyone was like, "Why are we doing this? Why is she back?" Not really surprised, not like kind of surprised as to why she's back, and they're pushing her. And then she won the
yeah,
title, and we were like, "Okay, okay." But she's been putting on really good matches as of late,
she
and she's been
has.
a safe worker. I mean, as far as I know, I mean, hey, Charlotte Flair busted Tiffy open way worse, and Nia was the one
Yeah,
that got busted open tonight with a mean chair shot that we knew instantly on impact that hit hard. And then she
yeah,
hit the mat and we saw the blood instantaneous. Like it wasn't even like one of those
everywhere.
things. Like it was close to the end of the match. So you like normally if blood happens there, you're like, okay, yeah, we don't realize it until after the show. It was the second she hit the floor, there was blood all over her forehead, and we were jaws on the floor. Our reactions are already posted on Instagram. Go check it out. We were popping
Definitely.
pretty much for blood because we're extreme. Hey, ACW over here, and he's wearing a Cincinnati 316. You can't really get more extreme than that. So we were really
For
excited
sure.
to see that. And then Tiffy gets the win. A lot of close pins too. That one where Nia Jax hit her with the Annihilator, and then Tiffy last second grabbed the rope. That was a great little swerve there. We really thought Nia was going to win
Yeah,
there.
it was it was a great swerve. Tiffany retained at the end. Like there was the blood, and there was also that spot where Nia threw Tiffany out of the ring, and she just
Yeah.
landed. Like that was a hard
Yeah, she was
fall.
on the top turnbuckle, and she fell all the way down to the mat.
Yeah, but overall, great match. Pretty good
Pretty
SmackDown.
good SmackDown.
Uh, yeah, we look forward. We got Raw on Monday, and then we have another SmackDown, and then we'll have that Saturday night's main event. And then like 2 weeks after that, we got Money in the Bank. So we got a lot of content coming to you guys, a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
reviews, a lot of streams, a lot of posts. So y'all stay tuned, man. I guess it's time to give our rating for the show. I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna give it a 7.
A 7. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually lying around 8 for most of it. And I kind of wanted to move it up to 9 because I really didn't have that many expectations for the show. The reason it wouldn't be a 10 was because Cody Rhodes wasn't there and he was advertised.
Yeah,
Um,
well, that's
he,
my thing.
he wasn't overly advertised. That's the big thing. Is that like it may
Yeah,
or may
but
not happen.
there was no Randy, there was no Bianca. Um, I don't really like the fact that I get what they're doing with the whole R-Truth and Cena thing, and I do want the match, but
Yeah.
I don't like the fact they didn't deliberately say if it was for the championship or not, and like why have this if it's not for the title? It doesn't make a whole lot of
Right.
sense.
Yeah. Why would anybody
The
want to wrestle John Cena and not be for the title?
yeah, the JC situation.
That's it. Yeah. You know what? I'm giving it a 7 just because you mentioned it once again. JC, every time I just there it goes, it's gone, and then you just bring it back in, and I'm like, oh, there it goes, JC, right back in here. So yeah, 7
Yeah,
out
I
of
mean,
10.
other than that, it was a pretty great
I
show.
enjoyed it.
I'll
The
say this,
matches were
all the
great.
matches delivered.
The matches delivered and then some. That's why I was like, I really like this card. It was an 8, maybe a 9, and then you just had to mention. It's almost like Voldemort. It's like you don't say it now. Like I just can't say it.
Yeah, it's like that's Stunna Steve's kryptonite now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a song. It's gonna be like JC Mateo, JC Mateo. I'm gonna make it your
La la la
ringtone.
la 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 la.
Yeah, we were just talking about they def rebelled his name. I just can't wait till his
Yeah.
new theme music
Yeah,
comes.
he's gonna come out and
I
be
bet
like,
you he's got music next week.
JC Mateo. Or we're like, I
Yeah,
am JC. I guarantee you that's what it's gonna be. I'm calling it now.
it's gonna be who's in the house? JC.
JC.
He's gonna have some stupid graphic on the Tron. It's gonna be like a J crashing into a C. Fireworks on the background. Or
Funny
something.
enough, I literally think that's Adam Cole's Titatron. It's an A and a C that just crash into each other.
They're just gonna use the. They probably still got that. They're just gonna
Yeah,
change the
yeah.
letters from a font. That's it.
His merch is just gonna be an aerial JC Mateo with a little like fireworks
Yeah.
shooting out.
Just have a picture of the Cincinnati Justice Center. Call it a day. Call it a day. Jesus Christ on the back.
Yeah, yeah. Gotta have something with Jesus Christ.
Or better yet, a picture of Jesus Christ inside the Justice Center.
Or you do like one of those things where it's like it's like a really like Christian words, like big bold letter, and then it's just a picture of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he's Jesus.
let me find out he's gonna come out to some Christian rock.
All right, we're getting off topic. We're just enough of this JC crap.
All right. Well, overall, I think we're about on the same page. It's a 7. Let us know what you guys think in the comments and stuff. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok. Follow us everywhere, man. At Exclusive John Wrestling. If
Or
y'all like
Screw John
videos like
Wrestle on
these,
X.
yeah, or at Exclusive John Wrestling. If y'all like videos like these, check them out every week after the show for the review. We got tons of shit coming, tons of content we got planned for y'all. We are all gas, no brakes. Is essentially what I'm saying. I mean, anything you want to add before we end it?
No, we pretty much covered it. It was a great SmackDown, except for outlying things. Other than that, I think I'm good. I'm Stunna Steve.
I'm Red.
And as always,
As always,
keep
keep it exclusive.